Tell you what, this is absolutely crazy. Not only is it snowing like crazy, but it is the wrong temperature to be snowing like crazy. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? It's like zero, and it is the slipperiest snow. I got my four-wheel drive on the tractor, and I cannot drive straight. It's just crazy, and I'm not even going that fast. Let's just hope most of the people are off the roads today, I guess. But, wow, crazy. Let it come down, I guess. Feels like Christmas. Oh, man. So before we get too far in the video, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you back to the channel if you've been here before. If you haven't been here before, welcome. We have an interesting video for you. We have the craziest snowstorm of the year. Granted, that's not too hard to say so far because it is our first snow of the year, but it's a crazy one. And I don't know how much we're gonna get. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen here. Hopefully, farming operations still run smooth through it all, but stay tuned. It's gonna be interesting. Now, right now we're mixing feed, so we're gonna pull the mixer tractor outside, and we are gonna brave the storm and get feed mixed for the cows. So this tractor is nicknamed the Beast via its big frame and the way she handles, but it's a good mixer tractor. Close the door here. Good. One thing about the snow, it does clean everything up. Until it thaws, that is, of course. And then it really becomes a mess. Okay, we got the bales in there. We're gonna put the bucket on now. So we usually put 2 bales in the mix. Right now we're using a first and a third cut, I believe. They usually weigh about 1,000 kgs, give or take, per bale. And now we're gonna put the bucket on, and we'll let that mix up for probably about 15-20 minutes before we start adding all the other stuff. So for any of you that don't have farming background and don't understand what I mean by first cut and third cut, we generally take off 3 cuts of alfalfa or grass off, alfalfa mixed with grass off of our fields about 3 times a year, sometimes 4. So first cut we refer to as first cut, second cut, third cut, fourth cut, and they do change. First cut's generally not as high in protein and stuff, and third cut's generally a really rocket fuel for the cows. Rocket fuel meaning it really brings the milk, but then I'm not a nutritionist, I don't exactly understand, but a first cut's more stemmy, and but that's also good for them. So we find the combination of a first and a third, or first and a second, generally works pretty good. Sometimes you use second and third, depending. It all depends on exactly how it tests. So we get the nutritionist comes in, samples it, we know exactly what we're working with, and yeah, they really have farming down to the science now. Of course, today's the day the milk truck's coming, so I don't know exactly when he's coming, probably in an hour and a half or so. It's almost too early to scrape much yet, and I don't really think he'd have a problem yet, just because there's not as much snow in the main yard here, and we are sinking down. You can see the tracks, we're going right down to the gravel. But I'm going to scrape a little bit out by the road. It feels like I was being a little bit dramatic with all this snow talk. It's not as bad now, it's cleared up a bit, but I have a feeling it's coming worse. But hey, I wasn't being any more dramatic than the people in our great town that canceled the Christmas parade last night due to, what, 2 inches of snow? It's crazy. It's ridiculous now when the way people cancel things with quote-unquote snowstorms. But anyway, if you're watching this and you canceled that, you can't cancel Christmas. I don't know. I feel like I'm quoting from some sort of movie. Anyway, back to farming. We put our corn silage and our high moisture corn in ag bags here. We currently have 3 ag bags of corn silage using out of this one, and high moisture corn, we have 1 ag bag using out of that one. Why ag bags instead of silos? Well, we do have the silo full of corn silage, but one is money. We don't want to spend right now to build a new silo. Number 2, I like ag bags. I'm not sure if I'd want to keep more than 1 silo running. Ag bags are so much easier to maintain, in my opinion. There's a lot of people that argue about that, including Dale, who watches, he claims he's watched every one of these videos. I don't know if I believe him or not, but he helped us here with corn cutting one day, or 2 days actually, and he can't figure out the ag bags, but that's fine. Every farmer has their different things, so we're gonna cut these ag bags open a little further, and I think the mixer is ready for us to put it in. Okay, so this is not the greatest setup, especially in the winter, but it seems to work. This is where we keep our bypass soy meal that we put in the mixer in this bay, and it's not a perfect option, but it's kind of what we have right now, and it works. It doesn't not work, it's just get a bit of snow in there, but it doesn't seem to bother it too much. You're doing it. You're doing it. Okay, we are draining the oil on this TW20, aka the Beast, and we are going to change the oil. And we aim to change this every 150 hours. I haven't even looked yet, but I'm sure we're there. Probably past. So I'm going to drain this. I had a milk tonight. Jake took off, so I was milked, and so I just finished milking. Gonna quick change the oil. I'm actually gonna throw the booster or the battery charger on here because there's a switch left on and the battery's drained, so we want to charge that up. We don't want anything to freeze in there. Not sure how batteries work, but anyway, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna quit for the night. Okay, I think we got a few filters in here. I did check beforehand. We already got the old filter off, so there's nothing left but to put this one on. When it comes to keeping track of our maintenance, we have this drawer here, and we have our aim is to have a book for every different tractor, which we do, and every different piece of machinery. The small books are more for the equipment, and the big books are more for the tractors. So we got TW20, which is the one we're doing now. So in here, the last time we changed oil, 5600. We are now at 5750. Man, I'm good. Actually, never mind. Yes. So we changed at 5600. We're now at 5750. That is perfect because it's 150 hours. So it's Sunday afternoon, and we are taking a trip to see Emily's family, and it's like a 2.5 hour drive. But anyway, we did not get as much snow as they predicted. Now, we got a fair bit, but we definitely didn't get what was predicted. So that's fine, we'll take it. Hello guys, we are back at the farm. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday we stayed at Emily's family and hung out with them. And today we're back at the farm. We're gonna be working hard. We got a little bit of snow here. I'll show you that in a second. But right now, we got a chore to do, or a maintenance something to do upstairs in the barn here. This conveyor here, there's a motor up there with a belt on it. We got to tighten that belt up, right? Oh, I can't see it from down here. So right here is a belt, and we got to tighten this up a bit. You can't unload fast enough. Should have been done a while ago, but we're gonna tighten that up. And that's some 9/16 I think, and then this threaded rod here. You thread the motor this way. Okay, we got this belt tight. It's tighter than a belt should be on a pulley, I'm guessing, but it needs to be really tight. We should ideally have a chain drive on here, and that would be relatively easy to switch. But you know how farming things are. The important things get done first, and if something's working, you generally don't change it until it really doesn't work, or at least that's how it works here too often. But that should work good now. The problem is belts tend to stretch, and then give it, it's hard to know, sometimes it lasts longer than other times, but give it half a year for sure. We'll either have to be tightening again or putting a new belt on. I think there's some room to be tightened yet. So it's not ideal, but it works. So we definitely did not get the snow that we're calling for, but we definitely also got a good little layer. So Jake was saying this chain was froze a bit. So I'm not sure if it's gonna start up now that the belt's tightened, or if sometimes I gotta dump some hot water in there. We'll see. Okay, we are unloading. Please excuse the dirty windows. So I had a bit of a problem getting the conveyor started. It would run for like half a minute and then shut off, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then finally I thought maybe I tightened the belt too much up at the top, and I loosened it off a bit, and it's working now. So I think I just had it too tight, and it was just pulling too hard. Initially, when we built the heifer barn longer than the actual heifer barn was going to be and use this for storage, I assumed from there here would kind of be wasted space because we still need to drive through there with the mixer and tractor. It actually comes in very handy to park the mixer and tractor right here. It's out of the wind. We can plug it in. We got electricity up here, and it's out of the weather just at the end of the heifer barn. So it's kind of perfect way to utilize this space. So this barn needs to get washed down in the worst way, probably next spring. So excuse the dirt. Initially when we built this barn, I didn't think we had to bring electricity up. Who needs electricity? Have hand cranks on the on the curtains, and well, we ended up doing the whole thing. We hardly had enough electricity the way it was, so we brought in new electricity, a whole new system from the road. I think we're, I don't know, two 400 amp panels. I don't know. I don't understand the electrical lingo, so excuse that. Anyway, we got the curtains all on automatic, and I gotta tell you, when we had a little bit of trouble this fall, when it got cold, that curtain, something wasn't working right with that sensor, but we cleaned off the sensors a bit dirty, and I think that's what it was. But other than that, it's worked beautifully. We hardly have to touch it. It's automatic, got wind sensors, got all that, and it works quite nicely. So, and I've said it in a past video, but I'll say it again. So the dream or the plan, whenever we build another barn for our milking cows, it'll go right beside here, and then we're right up by the manure pit. All of our facilities will be up here then. So it's kind of, we built it way up here, like way away from the other buildings, but we're trying to plan for the future, and I don't know when that'll be, but that's the plan for whenever we do something. It's one of those things that feels kind of silly to plan for the future when you're building the heifer barn, because building the next barn seems so far away, but you've got to plan for the future, or else We initially thought of building a heifer barn right by our bank barn, but there's just was hardly any room. And if you ever do want to build something else, and then you're really out of room, so we elected to kind of start fresh. I mean, we're not that far away from the rest of the facilities. Okay, we gotta push some feed in for the heifers here. I'm not sure where where the scraper went. We have like a scraper to push in. I don't see it. I'm not sure what happened to it. Guess I'll have to ask Jake, but we'll just use the bucket for today. Okay, we're all pushed up, and that should last them at least for the rest of the day. I don't really think they'll need more tonight, but we'll have to see how the situation looks by then. All right, we'll leave the skid steer up here for now. Snowy afternoon anyway, so we got to get this rake in the shop and the header in the shop, get all that snow melted off, and the blower, but don't think that's gonna happen today because I gotta milk in a few hours, and then I got hockey tonight, so maybe that's a job we can do tomorrow. So with these calves getting older, I decided I better get these pail holders installed so that we can put a calf starter, which is in here, and water in there. So I put a pail holder in there and in there. This one is a broken calf hutch we used to have, so we don't have a pail holder. I'm gonna try to bungee cord some pails on here, see if that works. That one does have a pail holder, so that will be good. And now I gotta go and do some milking because Jake's gone for the night. And then I got hockey after, so I want to get a bit of an early start. So we'll be back to do these calves after milking. Just get a little bit of calf starter in here. It's harder to do with one hand than it looks, but that should be about enough for starters. Just put that in there. There. Very good, and I already got some in there for that one. Just in the corner, which isn't ideal, but like I said, I'm gonna try to bring some bungee cords and strap something on the front. I do have water coming out here. Little froze. I want to pull the plug on the bottom and clean these out. Make sure there's no crap in there. And then there's one on that side. Got to clean all this out yet before we have calves roaming free and eating from the trough here. But that'll be a job for another day. And I guess this will be a job for another day. Okay, I better get these cows fed. They ran out more than I thought they would. Jake's gone for the day, so I'm not quite used to taking care of this. So we gotta get them fed. Okay, well, we got done milking. We're doing the calves. This one's done. Those two are still drinking. And then we're done for the night. So without further ado, I think that will be the end of this video. Thank you everybody for watching. If you are a first-time viewer and you don't want to lose this channel, go ahead and subscribe so you'll get notified next time I put a video up. Other than that, you can share it to your friends. You can hit the thumbs up and stay tuned for the next one. See you then.